and find out if we can forego waiting this 10-day and at least treat the bee problem.
The problem with the bee problem is if you don't take down the tree after you kill the bees will be back in a matter of a couple of days because of the larvae inside the tree.
I think we need to pursue.
I'll pursue whatever I can
Okay.
to take care of it.
Ms. Taylor, we'll follow up on that.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
the
you.
main thing here, Ms. Taylor, is that you're respecting people's property rights.
Yeah, I
Big
understand.
government, I mean.
But see,
stomping
nobody
up,
lives
I know.
behind us.
I know.
It's like a dead end street, and they supposedly tore the property down, but it's still a lot of debris there, so
But
it's like,
the issue here is we gotta be sure we do it right.
yeah, I
Before we
understand
go
that.
on property. You wouldn't want us to marching on your property and tear something down without getting it worked out, either with you or with me.
Yeah, I understand that, Peter, but I'm just saying, you know, what's the use of having a home if you can't go in your backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm saying, you know, so,
We'll let you know what's going to happen.
all right, I appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Wayne?
Good evening, City Council, ladies and gentlemen, and news media. I got a question about Chief Fisher's retirement. Who's going to take his place now that he's retiring?
That question will be answered by Mayor Madison next Monday night. He is still employed here until Monday the 27th, which is next Monday night. He's on medical leave at the moment, and his retirement's not effective until the 27th. So at the moment, he is still our chief, and Wayne, as I alluded earlier, is dealing with a medical issue right now, but we've got another week to work that out, and he will announce what procedures we're going to try to pursue at that time.
Okay, the reason I'm asking about it, because we need someone who's just like Chief Fisher, except to make sure that one police officer gets out of line like last time, when a police officer was shining a flashlight through my living room window.
Yes, sir.
Just like I'm gonna say, like one of these days, when that police officer shines a flashlight through the window of someone's house and sees a naked grandma, he'll wind up blinded. Then he calls backup on his walkie-talkie, and then they haul him to the hospital. And then the doctor says to his wife on the phone, "Your husband's been blinded by a naked grandma."
All right.
Thank you very much, ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen.
Wayne. Did I leave anyone out? Are there any other comments from the council? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question
ma'am.
on the fire inspections.
Yes, ma'am.
Do those have to, okay, I was reading in the paper about, I know Houston County's, our department's trying to bring up their standards.